really good main event coming in there, or main attraction, I don't know, situation, storyline. I thought about AEW. What's up, chat? How you guys doing? AEW is through, but NXT still going down. Right now, Undisputed Era is taking out Ciampa. Looks like they got some spray paint. They're going NWO. Oh, man, they're going NWO on NXT. Put a big X on the back of... put a big X on Ciampa's back over on NXT right now. Still watching that, seeing how that's going. AEW, NXT tonight. I thought the shows were all right. Like right off the bat, I could tell you I think the shows are all right, but you know, there's something. I guess one of the things to look at is there's like two major storylines kind of going on both shows, like two deep sort of storylines. There's like the gang warfare story in NXT with Undisputed Era versus Ciampa and all those other guys. Oh, the lights are going on NXT. They think it's they think it's AEW. Jake, are you watching this? Oh shit! Dream's back on NXT. Velveteen Dream. That was really cool, dude. I'm telling you right now. If you're not watching NXT, wow. The Velveteen Dream from the top rope. Taking out the Undisputed Era by himself. Wow. So, like, I'm finishing up on that right now. I had both screens going tonight, so I'm able to tell you what's been up. Pretty cool, man. But, yeah, this whole story's been going all night long. Man, they got Velveteen Dream coming in like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't know if it's you, Jake, or me, but the Skype is just spinning. Assuming that it's the connection overall, or... Oh, it could have you muted, maybe. I got you muted, my bad.
I was going to say, I think it's on your end.
Yo, so what's up, man? You watching this right now?
Yeah, with Dream coming back, that was great. NXT's been pretty on fire tonight. Really good matches, and... I had that more in the foreground. I had AEW, you know, being my main focus, and it's kind of the problem I've been saying, unfortunately. Like, it wasn't a bad night, but if you're not that main story, everything else really falls to the wayside.
On AEW?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got Moxley and Jericho and that, you know, and I like the eye for an eye scenario, and they're doing a good job there. But besides that, everything else kind of falls to you know, the offset, and then you get to, again, the other main event story, which is MJF and Cody.
Yeah, so like I was pretty down with the MJF stuff and Cody. Obviously, I thought that was great, but that was pretty much about all I got out of AEW. AEW had just so many tag matches again. Finally, I think Joey Janela's match was the only one where I was like, finally, a singles match. And they had an okay match, I guess. I was hoping that match was going to be the match of the show. But there really wasn't one to me.
No, there really wasn't for AEW, unfortunately.
Yeah, AEW just kind of had these all-man-out matches that they constantly have. And you know,
there were some great moments, you know, here or there.
Moxley and Ortiz was not, like, the beginning with the Moxley and Ortiz thing. I liked the beginning. I thought it was a nice setup. Moxley gets revenge, kind of stabbing Ortiz in the eye with his keys to the car that he won. So I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was like
that was
7.
a good throwback. I appreciate that they did that. The only thing I didn't like is when they cut the promo in the back later on. If you just got stabbed in the eye, I would not be up to, you know, cutting a promo. You should be writhing in pain, dying.
I mean,
you know, I wouldn't be up to going ahead and cutting a promo on anybody. There's not enough morphine in that building to get me to be, not in that much pain. Ty was mentioning it on Twitter before, and I said, yeah, they should have not had him talk at all, just being treated.
Right. Somebody else could have talked for him, or he could have been laying down with something over his eye. I don't know. I get what you're saying.
Really.
I mean, Moxley's was worse. Obviously, he got stabbed in the eye with something that was like almost a knife, almost.
Yeah, that big spike. But still, no matter what, anything to your eye, you should be down and out.
Yeah. Yeah, unless they were gonna say he didn't. Luckily, he didn't get him.
Yeah, he just grazed him or something.
Yeah. So if they had said that, he's got a deep cut here and he got a little bit of a scratch on the cornea, but it's not that bad. In about a week or so, you'll be a lot better. But whatever. Anyway, that's sort of. I feel like that's kind of nitpicking, but I know what you're saying because it is a little bit like. Hey, how come Moxley?
Night, I think it was less about the matches and getting to the story after the matches. They did that multiple times. The opening match with Moxley was about getting to the eye poke. Everything with the SCU match was getting to the Dark Order interference with Christopher Daniels. Britt Baker, they just wanted to get to the attack afterwards. And the Elite match, the 8-man tag, the match itself wasn't important. It was the after with the Young Bucks arguing, obviously, with Hangman Page. So really every match was kind of a throwaway in the sense that they were just trying to get to the storytelling afterwards.
Which is, and I think maybe, and you're right, even the Janela match, even the singles Janela match was, it ended with, I knocked the girl off by accident.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we go into that situation. So yeah, it was it was almost like too much after the match story building in AEW tonight. Like normally you want that, but there was way too much of it. It was all kind of the lower mid-card type of storytelling, and it was all, and like you said, it was after every match. It was the same thing again and again and again.
Yeah, and I know they were trying to further some story stuff, and he's Hangman Page is getting trashed on for his alcoholic ways, and it's making him look more like the crowd's cheering for the alcoholic than him rejecting the Elite. So I think they have to kind of fix that a little bit. I don't hate it. It's just they got to tweak it.
Yeah, they got to be careful. If they want him to be heel, I think the people like the beer drinking stuff.
Yeah, they're enjoying the party boy aspect. And then the part with Pac, they go ahead and they have this great moment where you think he's going to attack Riho, and they get Nyla Rose involved, which I would have loved to have seen him just attack her, even if he just shoved her down. Getting Nyla involved, that kind of fell flat, and now she suddenly has a title shot next week that wasn't announced beforehand. So,
I mean, that was annoying too.
I could see her getting the title next week just by the way that they're working with all this.
She's enraging. Like just that I don't know, that whole character's enraging.
And it looks like it was a fan that attacked MJF at the end. Somebody said it was security, but I rewatched it 4 times now.
I'm trying to watch it. My fucking phone app, it's so close to the end that the other show is starting at before it ends.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to watch on my phone to see who attacked them and watch it. But I mean, if it's a fan, that's kind of awesome. Because
he got fucked up.
Well, Wardlow was there. I mean,
Wardlow finally earned that paycheck.
Wardlow finally got to kick the shit out of somebody. I mean, I bet MJF would too, but I mean, Wardlow was definitely there. Let's go to the donations real quick. I want to see what's up with you guys. Let me see. Are they playing? Or are they? Hold on a minute. Let me fucking. I'm on my new computer, folks. So it's a little bit. We're still kind of getting things in order on this computer. Here we go. Hazardous Beard is in the house.
$9 for a fuck. Someone donated 9. I'm getting hard. I got 9 inches inside of your wife. $9. I'm shooting my semen to the ceiling. I'm coming and my balls have turned blue. $9. Suck my dick. Here they go. Suck my balls.
8 out of 10. Was anyone else a little turned on by Moxley wearing Renee's underwear on his head? That table spot with Riho was brutal. The final segment worked much better than I expected.
Yeah, I agree, man. And that guy was a fan, but he was an in-shape fan. Let me go back real quick, Hazard's Beard, because I just saw the replay as your donation was going off. 8 out of 10, man. You gave it a really good rating for AEW Dynamite. We're going to talk mostly AEW Dynamite, but we are going to talk a little bit about NXT here as well. I was able to kind of spy NXT tonight, and from what I'll tell you what I gathered from it, because I did see a pretty good amount of it. Hazardous Beard, thank you for the $9. 8 out of 10. Right off the bat, I don't agree with that out of 10. I just thought it was a little bit less than that. I thought AEW was a 6 out of 10 tonight. Was anyone else a little turned on by Moxley wearing Renee's underwear? Maybe 6.5. Moxley wearing Renee's underwear on his head. That's pretty funny.
That was funny.
The table spot with Rio was brutal. Yeah, because it didn't break. Well, I mean, she's like 80 pounds. Any other girl.
Tabor.
Tabor. I don't even remember where that's from, but I remember doing it one night.
We did that ages ago, yeah.
It was a while, yeah. The final segment worked much better than I expected. Well, that's kind of a classic segment, and Cody's good at those, and they know what they're doing with those. So that actually was about how I thought it would play off. It pretty much almost always gets heat, and I think it did. I think it ended up getting more encouragement for Cody than it did like angry heat. Even the fan that attacked MJ it looked kind of like a goof. It didn't.
It did. And if you watched AEW Dark last night, you saw Mel attack Kong. So the Nightmare Collective seems to have imploded in a way. But Brandy coming out was still weird.
Yeah, it was.
It felt very awkward. It's like, I'm going to come here and destroy the JCS army, and I'm going to take down the community. It's okay, Joe. You can do it. It's very ass backwards.
I am gathering that she's got these multiple personalities from that off-air video they made.
Yeah. Granted, though, they should tell this on the air.
That should be on air.
When they're doing all these things on YouTube, and that's going out to maybe 10% of your audience at times.
And we are on JCS channel, guys. So on my Joe Cronin Show channel right here, you guys can super chat over here. So if you do want to super chat, you can super chat. My monetization was taken away only from Corrupted Nation, and I'm still trying to fight it. But yeah, they demonetized me for being too real, I guess, over on Corrupted Nation. So the only way to donate is Streamlabs over there and Twitch alerts, which you can do over here, but you can also still super chat and become members here as well. So if you want to become a member tonight, you can do that. If you want to super chat, you can do that. If you want to donate Streamlabs or Twitch alerts, in the description box down below on your phone or under there, just expand the description. And all the way at the bottom are all the donation amounts, okay? That's the stuff that keeps us on the air, so have some fun if you got a couple bucks. But if not, don't worry, just like the video, share the video, do whatever you want, or come hang out every week with us and support that way and subscribe and all that type of shit. Look at Jim Ross, man. I almost can't get my face open. No, I love Jim Ross. I'm kidding. But
I wish we could get Jericho every week on commentary.
Really?
I said it on Twitter. He's the gift that keeps on giving. That was what I really thoroughly enjoyed about that opening.
Well, I've said this.
So goddamn entertaining.
I keep saying this. They need a heel. Hello, AEW. You watching my video? Hire me, please.
To have that heel dynamic in the booth really made a difference. And I'm telling you, it just.
Is this really the faces?
So phenomenal.
This is really what you want to do, Brandy and Cody? Can someone clip this right now? Get ready to record right now. Is this really what you want, Cody and Brandy? Clearly, Chris Jericho is smart, and he's on the mic. Oh, he's a heel or whatever you want to call it. I call it real. You call it heel, I call it real. Chris Jericho gets on the mic and actually says things that are real, that actually resonate with people because he's smart. Jim Ross and Excalibur, look at these guys. You got, by the way, the wrong guy's wearing the mask. I mean, how ugly is Excalibur behind that thing? The fact that Jim Ross, we have to actually stare at that mangled potato, and on the right there, Excalibur, the younger guy who doesn't have some kind of facial paralysis, has the mask on. How does this make any sense to you, AEW? Doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, the kids are going to be tuning in to see a guy who thinks he's a superhero who really smells under that suit, and another guy who drools on his face on airplanes. Yeah, this is going to be a great show. Wear a cowboy hat. Yeah, maybe wear a mask, not a cowboy hat, you stupid old idiot. And that's why AEW should have hired me on commentary so that somebody who could actually describe what's going on to the people and keep it real or heel, as you call it. Oh, heel. Oh, something we don't like what he said. We like he's a little too much. He tells it like it is, so we'll call him heel. Yeah, okay. Where I come from, it's called being real, and I don't give a damn. But you guys don't want to do that. You want to hide behind this crap, and you want to put the geriatrics on the screen for all the fans. I can't wait till someone flips through this channel. Oh, maybe I'll watch all Elite Wrestling tonight. What is this, Dynamite? Are you sure it's called Dynamite, or is this called Mongoloids? Idiots. Sorry. But that's what I would do if I was on the mic, and I wish I was over there. But, yeah.
Jericho, pleading, first he's agitated because he has the car keys. Then he's, going back and making fun of Moxley. Then he's like, no, save him. Go get him. Help. Go. He's concerned for his teammate. Just all that great depth of range just adds so much.
But even while concerned for his teammates, Jericho knows how to. He actually
how to
kind
still be a heel.
But he also puts the other guy over. He puts everybody over. Like, hey, listen, Moxley knows what he's doing. This is what he does. In the past, he's done this, and that, and we know that. We're fully aware of that. That's why I'm telling you this, because I'm not a stupid moron. We know what Moxley does. But what Moxley doesn't know is how well we've scouted him, and he's got some blind spots, and no pun intended. As you can tell by the fact that now he's wearing a patch. Have you ever seen Jon Moxley in his career wear an eye patch before? No, he never wore an eye patch until he ran into Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle. And that's just a sample and a taste of what else can happen. Before long, if he doesn't get out of our way and just move on to something else, he's going to look like Jim Ross behind the announce table, and he won't be in the ring. Okay, let's go back to another donation here and see what's up. But yeah, Jericho, great on the mic. I liked it. He almost had to carry the commentary in a way. It's sad.
What
I don't
else
know.
we got? Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Janela is a transgender inbred retarded faggot. Poop.
Oh my God.
Poop. Pig. Poop. Pig.
Oh boy.
Vomiting face. Cat.
Say it like the white man, El Gallo de Oro. Thank you for the $3. Buenos noches. Tiene sus papeles. El Gallo de Oro. Viva la Raza. Thank you for the for the donation, man. What's up? And what's up to the chat? Let me get that. I got to get that belt up. I don't have it transferred yet over here. So tonight we're going to have to get like a sit-in belt.
Oh, look at that interim champion.
Yeah, I don't know, like a different picture of a belt. I don't know what I can find. Hold on, let's find something else. Because normally we get that.
There we go. Just throw a picture of Tommy. You get the Tommy title for the night.
The Tommy title? Does anybody want? Nobody wants that, do they?
Everybody wants that. Chat. Tell them you want the Tommy title.
I don't know. Let's go with, who should we go with? Let's go with this WWE Mock Championship.
There we go.
Because we want to find out who the largest donator of the night is. And so far, it's... who is it so far? It's Hazardous Beard, I think.
I think you're right.
Hazardous Beard. Hazardous Beard's going to have that belt. We're going to talk about NXT as well, man. Don't worry. We're going to get to that. There's a little bit more here. So, yeah, so the opening I thought was all right with Moxley, and it was okay. And,
Moxley's
Jericho's
super over. And they stacked it properly because, they have X-Lax come out. And, they get a decent amount of boos, but then Jericho follows up. Sad part is they're still pushing that narrative of the sing-along with his theme song.
Why are they doing that? He's a heel.
Just let it be natural, too. If the crowd sings, then go for it. Don't force it. They're tweeting it out. They're trying to get people to karaoke his way to the ring. That doesn't need to happen every time.
What is
it
wrong?
was special
What
when it was
fuck?
on the boat. Because that was the elite fans, but
why are they doing this? Like, do they not know that this isn't cool? It's like, there's, I guess, I think part of it is that Jericho just gets so much stuff over that they're like, run with everything. Make a wine, make a this, make a that, do that. So,
yeah.
I kind of get it because they did it with the wine or the bubbly or whatever, but that's different. That's sort of like impersonal, if that makes any sense. It's like, hey, have a little bit of the bubbly. You want to buy it? It's on the website. You buy it. It's not like it shows up on TV everywhere and all over the internet. But if the crowd sings along to Jericho's theme every week, that's going to be popping up on the feeds. It's going to show up in the audience. The crowd's going to get into that mood. Why would you want to be doing that with a heel? So that, to me, that is weird to me.
That's why Jericho didn't want, a lot of his phrasings on T-shirts and stuff like that in WWE, because he didn't want his insults to become, blasé and meme worthy. He, even though people like stupid idiot in the list and things like that, he tried to avoid it being merchandise. So
right.
It's kind of funny to see the opposite of that on here. And the match was okay, decent back and forth, but nothing really stand out, unfortunately. The figure 4 was a bit notable just to see a bit of a change up, but all in all, it wasn't anything super special. So it was just to get to the car key reveal in the eye for an eye, which that was done well. And the double paradigm shift, to avoid the attack. It was a decent opening and a really good attack afterwards. But besides that, not much to it. The crowd's white hot for Moxley. This is a good story. My only worry is we still have a few weeks until the pay-per-view, and I'm not sure where else they go from here. So,
we got John Moxley Ortiz, that whole thing, like you said, I was like, I'm around a 7 or something like that for that. I'm like, yeah, whatever. SCU versus Best Friends, Orange Cassidy was whatever. I didn't care that much for that. Orange Cassidy had the comedy spot, laying on the ground. Then at the end, they had the whole Dark Order, and then they teased they almost teased the Christopher Daniels thing again. They already announced it almost last week.
Yeah, it seems like he's going to end up being the Exalted One.
I thought he was going to do it tonight. I thought tonight he was going to attack his buddy in the ring, and then they were all going to jump in. They were going to pull a Jeff Jarrett Bullet Club type of deal.
Yeah, it kind of seemed that way.
That Jeff Jarrett Bullet Club thing was pretty funny when he hit the dude with the guitar. I always thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, it's classic for him.
That got all over the place. I don't know how the audio is. Hopefully the audio is okay, guys. I'm still working out the kinks on the new computer. Audio stuff is automatic, and things are fluctuating, and trying to get everything right. But yeah, I don't really care for that. The Dark Order, whatever. That's a building thing that's still going. It's not been answered yet. I think some storylines in AEW are running too long. I think they need to really hit some points.
Well, they got to trim the fat, and that's the thing. They have a lot of, because they're limited on their roster, so they have a lot of intertwining storylines. You see Darby Allin obviously with the flamethrower to Sammy Guevara and Jericho, but Jericho's busy with obviously Moxley, so they have certain pieces of each puzzle being occupied with somebody else's feud. And that it's good in one sense because at least some people do get attention, but there's too many stories being told, and it waters everything down, unfortunately.
Yeah, there was way too many stories, and tonight the two problems that I've been having so far has been the multiple storylines with AEW, just way too many things going on all over the place. And then on top of that, the multiple tag matches. There's too many stables or 4-man or like triple guys or double team tag team.
How about that they missed the end of the match for the Elite versus the Butcher, Blade, and Lucha Brothers?
I don't even know what was going on there. Like, what the hell was that?
They missed the pinfall and everything.
Oh, because, yeah, there was a pin inside and they cut to the outside.
So, we get WWE shit with the spear. This is... same damn thing. So,
well, not only that is once again the Butcher and Blade and Bunny. Did they have a win?
Yeah, and that's their first notable win, I think, yet. So
no, they lost.
They won tonight.
What? I thought Pentagon covered.
Yeah, but they were together in the same team. So.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it was confusing. I don't blame you there.
But have they pinned anybody? Have they won anything themselves? Like nothing.
No, just as this team.
They haven't won one damn thing as a team together. They beat up Cody, and that was about it. They've beaten up Cody, and
maybe they have one win, but I know they have. Even that, I'm
what are they
failing to
doing?
remember.
And what are they doing? Is the Nightmare Collective thing really over?
It seems that way.
Do you know? By the way, do you know when it was over? Cody and Brandy and whoever was in charge of that. Do you know when it was over? Tony Khan. Do you know when Nightmare Collective was over? Because it's not the fans who buried it a little bit right from the beginning, or buried the women's division, or buried Awesome Kong, or any of that. Do you know when it was over? When you brought in a guy named Luther and said he was a deathmatch crazy guy, and then he got his ass kicked twice. That's just retarded. Like, that's the dumbest thing ever. Unless
and
it's
they had Luther on Dark last night. He comes out, obviously, for the match, and it was a dumbass the whole time. Joe, they literally just marched him around
And is that his character?
He was in the way.
Is that his character? That he's like a retard or something?
It seems like that. And worse than that, I mean, Brandy wasn't out at ringside for that part. And then you get Mel and Kong assaulting each other. They're attacking each other after the match. And it was just a big cluster. Then they walk out together. So it seems like they're not together anymore. But Brandy wasn't there to solidify it, the conclusion. We don't know if it's them definitely being done. So
Butcher and Blade beat
they
Cody.
Beat Cody and QT Marshall. So that was their one other win.
Oh, was that? I don't even remember it.
Yeah.
But Blade Butcher, Luther lost to two women. Okay, I get it. Yeah, okay, yeah. Blade and Butcher got something going on.
Well, not really. I mean, Butcher and Blade and Bunny, they only have that one win. They've lost so many times.
Oh, okay. How many matches do you think they've had? 6, 5?
5 or 6 at least.
I mean, I just don't think they know what... It's like, do they not know what they're doing? Like, when you bring in a new team that's supposed to be threatening, you got to line them up with at least 1, 2, or 3 wins.
They're supposed to be hired hitmen. You had MJF giving them money to go and take people out, and then they lost.
They're good at duping people for money.
Essentially, they're not getting the job done.
It's like, here's a bunch of money, and you fucked up now. Good. I'm glad we paid you all this money to fuck up. Luther has Down syndrome, says Eddie Cheeseburger in the chat.
Certainly looks that way.
I mean, I'm not to make fun of that, but it's like he is retarded.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh,
hell yeah, the Velveteen Dream.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
It was in NXT tonight.
At last I return. Spread the cream for all. And all the love to Jakey Poo and Joseph Cronin. I hear young Thomas has ladies that need the cream.
Oh my God.
CREAM.
Oh my God. That is just simply disturbing, my friend. That is disgusting. There's
cream.
Oh wait, here he comes. Oh no. Velveteen cream. Velveteen cream. You want a cream? Velveteen cream. 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 All right, appreciate that, man. Yeah, Velveteen Dream showing up in NXT at the end. Exciting stuff over there. I'd say, yeah, the two situations that really rivaled themselves between two shows was the Undisputed Era, their sort of gang warfare that was going on, and the I guess the lashings of Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
on
those
AEW
kind of intertwine. They line up with what they're trying to tell for stories.
Now, I give points to Cody's for the fact that it's been a while since you've seen someone be like, I'm going to take the lashings of a strap. So that's different. So I give that credit for being different. I like it. It's one of my...
I mean, a good portion of us got the belt growing up, and I was talking with Trailbound before this. I feel like it was a bit oversold, especially when you see people in strap matches, and Cody's been whipped before with his weight belt and didn't act that severe. So
right.
I thought it was a bit laying on the dramatics, a little thick.
Yeah, they should have brought out a real whip.
I mean, it's hard to stunt that, to like make them bleed and things, but I don't know. They did the best they could with it.
I think it would have been funny. It might have worked better maybe if it had been like 50 lashings and they'd had two people whacking him. Wham, 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 wham. Like, I mean, he would really look fucked up.
Yeah,
but so maybe that would have been a better idea. But I did, but it worked for me a little bit.
It did work, but having his wife come out was odd, just with the way they've built her recently.
Well,
and or lack thereof, I should say. I mean, she hasn't really been built with her with the heel turn. Like you said, it makes sense with what they said on the YouTube, but the public doesn't know that because they haven't showcased that at all.
If I had not seen the video of Brandy having these multiple personalities.
If you hadn't mentioned it to me, I wouldn't have seen it because it wasn't even like a dark segment.
Well, so like it would be, yeah, if I had not seen that, I would have been like, well, okay, so they're breaking character. They're trying to like break character to show like how serious this is type of thing. So maybe that's what their goal was. But even if that wasn't, they really should have played that split personality thing with Brandy. Or they should have had Cody maybe talking with her and convincing her to stop doing this weird shit she's doing, and they need to focus on the business. And maybe she saw, and Cody said something like really quickly, like, "Oh, that therapy really worked and really helped you get over whatever it was you were doing." And she'd be like, "Yeah, I feel so much better now," or whatever. And like, just that's it. Drop it. Now it's over. All right, we're not gonna do the story anymore. That quick little explanation, we're good to go. But yeah, most of you did not see that YouTube video where she has multiple personalities. So if you didn't see that, you're like, what is she doing out here? So I think most people would think, okay, they're breaking her character because whatever. But because I saw that, I kind of got, I think I got what was going on, but I didn't know they did abandon that storyline. So
yeah, just very odd to just pull the plug on it the way they did. What
do you think about Britt Baker versus Yuka Sakazaki?
Yeah, we haven't seen her for months. I had no idea who it was at first. And I think Fyter Fest, Matt said, was the last time we saw her.
She basically looks like some kind of Final Fantasy or...
It's a Riho ripoff. I mean, like they said on Twitter, too, you know, you got the Japanese girl that doesn't speak English, you're putting her back out. And it's just... It's baffling. They, you know, they just keep interchanging these females, so no one gets enough screen time.
She looks like one of the girls from Street Fighter or something. I can't remember.
Like, and then on
one of those,
you know, they go ahead and on commentary they're like, "Oh, she won the hearts of the AEW audience."
When?
How?
When?
This is the first time we've seen her in ages.
What are they talking about? Dude, they
she does the Magic Girl press with the flying, you know, Luthies, and okay, well, we haven't seen this before.
They just love these Japanese women, like, oh, like it's like a video game.
Choice, and that's his doing.
It's a video game, so I like it. It's like the video game. Oh, yeah.
Again, they were going for the attack after the match, and she sold it well, Sakazaki. But you saw the blood pack on the mat. You could see her placing the tooth, like reaching out to drop it so that it could clearly seen by the camera.
It was the biggest, like, hold on, let me get it right now.
Yeah, let me get it right in the angle, and then you could tell the blood pack didn't burst enough because they're like, the mouth full of blood, but really she didn't have hardly any noticeable blood, and you can clearly see that she has all her teeth. Granted, not to nitpick it to death, but here's the thing: I really like the idea of because they always tout about Britt Baker being a dentist.
Yeah.
Well, she should be tagging, or targeting, the mouth. Not just with her finisher, forget about the lockjaw. Have her do more than a mandible claw. Let her go ahead and, plier people's teeth out. Let her go ahead and target, let her go ahead and actually be a threat to your smile. That's a great tagline for her.
Well, what I would have liked to see, too, is just put a giant blood packet in the mouth and just fucking have the blood coming out. It was like she was looking down like she saw blood, and there was no blood. So she was acting.
She looked like she had too much ketchup on a chicken tendy. That's what it was, It just there was no.
I don't think she could. I don't know what it was, but it looked. Oh my god, dude! It's like they can't get anything right.
The stupid
Can these women get anything right?
In the backyard looked better.
Yeah, the backyard wrestling stuff looked better, dude. What was the night when I busted myself open?
Yeah. And I mean, it doesn't have to be the hard way here. You can manage things, but you saw the blood packet on the mat. You saw her put the tooth that was supposed to look knocked out into the frame. She still had all her teeth because her mouth was wide open, and there was no real excess visible blood. So it looked silly. But I like the idea of her, it adds to her character overall. She's a dentist, so she knows how to do fucked up things to your mouth. That's a great point. It would work good as a heel tactic, but all in all, the camera angles and everything just looked really silly. So it was a bit too hard to suspend disbelief.
And she got the win.
And the loss was almost unnecessary for Baker as well.
Yeah, Baker
They could have
loses.
gotten a DQ or a count out or have her go to use the bell, and then, don't have her lose if you're building her here.
Yeah, why not have her win, and then what she does is come back, or she won't take that lockjaw move off, and she's pulling on it so hard, and then she comes over and gets in her face, and maybe she gives her the packet or whatever, and then goes back to the move again, and then wrenches it in, and then the girl spits out blood like, and it's like, holy shit, dude, she's bleeding everywhere and stuff. But like the minute you take time to place things and start pretending like you're seeing blood and there's nothing, now you're thinking, is she bleeding? What is she doing? She's doing something. This is weird. Now I'm taken out of it. But what you needed to see was instant blood out of nowhere almost, and be like, holy shit. Because then even though you know it's not real, you're reacting to, whoa, that's a lot of blood. Like, whoa. Yeah. But you don't have time to start thinking about how it's not real. You just start thinking about how you're, like, what you're seeing of the art.
Exactly. You could do it quickly, and sleight of hand works great. The camera angle was bad because the cameraman should have been lower. Being up higher, you're aiming down, so you're seeing their entire mouth. And obviously, she still has all her teeth. Yeah. And like Evan said, I got to stop with the DQ stuff because they don't do DQ finishes. Yeah, they really don't resort to that often, but there's better ways to handle it when they're really, you can tell they're trying to push Britt as this top female heel. So why have her lose and take away momentum?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know about, I didn't like anything about it. It ended up breaking down. I'm like, all right, here comes another Japanese girl who doesn't speak English. Yeah, we feel good about her, I guess, because she's all cute. And then, yeah, but the ending, just the fucking, she wins, then Britt attacks her, and then just all that stuff was wrong. Like, none of that worked. They can't get this women's division right.
I mean, people are tuning into NXT for their women's division specifically.
Right.
And Dynamite, they're changing the channel specifically because of it.
Do you have the coronavirus? Do you have the Cronin virus or the coronavirus?
I did. You infected me, you bastard.
So you now have the Cronin virus.
I do. Because it makes you infinitely horny.
My son has the Cronin virus, though.
Oh God!
What happens?
Maybe it's just my side effects.
Yeah. What the hell's gonna happen to my 4-year-old?
He's gonna develop superpowers.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Dude, he's had rapid heartbeat racing today. His lungs. I took him to the doctor, and they didn't see anything wrong with his lungs, but he does have double ear infection.
Yeah, I saw on Twitter, poor guy. Hopefully he feels better soon.
Is that what you get, sore throat or something?
I have a bad sinus infection. Courtney's sick. She couldn't even do shit for her birthday. The whole house is sick at this point because we babysat our nephew Saturday, and he was sick without us knowing, and everybody fell after that. So it was fun stuff.
Leah had the sickness 2 weeks ago almost, and then got an infection. But she got over it. She kind of just like worked through all of it. You wouldn't even really know. But yeah, but Finn is really bad. Like
it's always worse with the kids too.
He's normally not. That's what makes it bad. He's been sick before. He's had fevers, all kinds of things, and he just kind of goes.
Yeah, he's pretty spry.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm just gonna lay here, watch movies, and I'll feel better. Like, he's really not maintenance. But right now, he's in full maintenance. He's in full
poor kid. Like, just wants to cuddle and.
Yeah, so like but it's weird because he doesn't have a fever, but he's like breathing like. He's breathing like that, and I'm like, that's weird. So I took him to the doctor because of that. I was like, that breathing, I don't like that.
But, no, it makes you short of breath. And...
They hurt his lungs though. They said he was all right. So I mean, who knows? I mean, but it was just weird. The little kid's fast breathing and whatever. But anyway, so that's actually why I was able to watch both NXT and AEW, because he wanted me to cuddle with him upstairs. So I put on the TV AEW, and on my phone I had NXT, and I was flipping back between both of them on each screen, and yeah,
that worked out. But hopefully he feels better soon.
But Kenny Omega, Adam Page, Young Bucks, that whole thing, we saw that. We talked about that a little bit, and yeah, Adam Page.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad match. I like that they had the Lucha Bros and Butcher Blade Bunny combo win. We need to see them win more so they become believably effective. And the way they did it, you saw them target Page's knee effectively as well. He tries to kip up, the knee gives out, and he refusing to tag the Young Bucks. So that's obviously continuing that story. You will see him turn heel eventually, but I'm really enjoying this continual slow burn with them. Like I said, though, he's getting cheered for the alcoholic nature of things. That he's getting cheered for the party boy antics. So I think they got to just go more into him being a dick and refusing the elite. At first, I think they were going to make it a crutch, like, oh, he's a drunk, he can't keep up. But now it became more of like a fun thing.
Yeah, it's almost like they can't figure out which way to go with it.
Yeah, they keep shifting back and forth too. And you heard them afterwards with this great implosion, like, hey, we're going to take those belts from you because, you know, you're not able to work well. And it's a good story, you know, obviously of betrayal and, you know, egos getting out of line.
Then pretty much that does it. I mean, what do you think about
Kenny
Joey
Omega's
Janela's
getting
match?
interviewed by Shivani, and that's when Pac
Rio
comes out. He said, "Oh, you left Nakazawa for dead. You don't care about him. How about Riho?" And I was waiting for, you know, Pac to be a real. He says, "I'm a bastard, but not, you know, but I'm not a beast. She is." And then you get Nyla. I know they're trying to push Nyla as the #1 contender, but
well, Nyla
I
Rose
would have
might
loved
be.
to have seen Pac do something there to really screw her, you know, into oblivion.
Ew.
Just completely fuck her mouth.
Well,
show her what a real dentist does.
Rio's a bigger guy than him. I mean,
Nyla.
Yeah, Nyla. But yeah, so that was all right. It was kind of interesting. I liked some of that stuff that they did. But
My favorite thing was seeing Darby Allin with a flamethrower.
Dude, that was awesome.
That was such a great vignette. He coughs, you know, he shows the damage to his throat from the skateboard, and he basically makes a promise that he'll get his revenge by burning them in effigy. I love it.
I mean, Darby Allin needs to be on this program. Like, he is. I to be honest, dude, he's like one of the most. I can't believe it. He's one of the most entertaining things to me that's come up, and he's missing. It's like I want more of him. I mean, in the Joey Janela thing is a goofy little story.
It's goofy and if it had a bit more oomph to it, I think it could be better. But it felt very long. It felt like a long match, and unfortunately, you know, he runs into you know, Penelope, and it's so formulaic. You know, you knew that it was coming.
It's just like WWE. It didn't need to be that long if that's how they were going to end it anyway, I feel like.
Yeah, just like we didn't see Rusev on Raw this week. Why? Because they had nothing for him now. So all that build up with the wedding angle and Lana, and now he's going to be dead in the water again. Well, I don't want Janela to be dead after this angle's over. So I really hope that they try and get him back to where he was before this angle with the fans, where they were really starting to give him a chance and build him up with some interesting matches.
I just don't even...
The crowd didn't care.
Maybe it's me, but I don't like Kip Sabian.
I'm not crazy about Kip.
I don't care at all about this guy. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. His wrestling, I just don't give a shit. I don't know why. His, like, backstage, like, I'm Kip and I'm going to bring some. I just don't even buy any of it. I don't care. He's like, I don't know, man. I feel bad, but I'm honestly telling you, I think the guy's lame, like, in all aspects. He's a good wrestler, I'm sure. I mean, I've seen Joey Janela have a great match with Kenny Omega in Boston. I've seen Joey Janela have a couple good matches. I've seen him have a couple blah matches. I feel like Shawn Spears is similar to Kip Sabian. Like, they're just kind of like, yeah, there they are. I feel like, is Shawn Spears ever going to have a Joey Janela Kenny Omega match? Is Kip Sabian going to have one? I mean, I know that Kip's had great matches in the past at different places, but so far here, I just not feeling Kip at all. And Joey Janela looks like he put that weight back on that he lost a few weeks ago. We'll have to ask him if he ever comes on the show. He seems to say he's going to come on, and then he goes missing. But Joey's doing good though. Like his funniness on the screen, his kind of recklessness in a way.
He's standing out for those moments.
Yeah, I think
it just has to be backed up with a better opponent and a better story.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with a lot of it. You know, you've got great talent, but this is what we've seen through WCW throughout the years, basically. A lot of it feels like it's just a rehash.
Yeah, it just feels like whatever, like lame, like all right, whatever. But like moving over to NXT real quick, to look at that. Let me just pull that up real quick because I'm looking
NXT lacks a little bit of story in some of the stuff in the middle, but they're giving you some better matches. So I mean, like, it goes both ways here. But you start off with a really great match with Angel Garza and Swerve Scott there. That was an excellent match. I saw most of that, and Dijakovic and Killian Dane had a real, slogger,
Wait,
where
what
they
was
were just beating the hell out of each other.
Garza's match, dude. I jumped in and watched all of that match with Garza.
That was great.
That was better than any match on AEW.
Absolutely. Then you had Mercedes Martinez and Casey. That was okay.
Yeah. Catanzaro, whatever the hell. Catanzaro. Yeah. That was okay because that was just like, Mercedes, the big girl, veteran beating down the small girl kind of thing.
Then you had this really big, attack with Ciampa and Undisputed Era, and so that got everybody salivating for what's going to come later on. And then you had Devlin take on Tyler Breeze in a non-title match. That was a great match. Amazing match.
Best part of that match?
Event match right there.
The beginning of that match, when Tyler Breeze does his little pose on the side of the ring and he got drop-kicked immediately. So that's what What's-Her-Face should have done in the Rumble. But anyway,
it was no doubt about it with Baszler, really. But that was a hell of a match between those two. The work rate was absolutely incredible. And I was surprised because Devlin's been a good, cruiserweight champion. He's only had the belt shortly, but he's been believable. And this was just something that people need to go and check out. Absolutely. And as amazing as it was, I think they got just enough TV time that it was 12 minutes. Any longer, it would have started to go the other way. So,
yeah,
good pacing, good back and forth, and a good story told between these two. That Devlin side looks really cool as a finish as well.
NXT tonight felt what NXT felt tonight was like a mini episode of a good Raw from the back in the day. Like, it had better wrestling, or different wrestling, I guess, if you could say that. But it had that theme story of the gang warfare that was going on. And I didn't see what happened coming. I thought, okay, yeah, they're setting up this main event match now because they had a brawl. For the millionth time, they had the whole pull-apart brawl. And I was like, okay, this is a little repetitive. And it is. It is a little repetitive on NXT. All right, whatever. All-out brawl, warfare thing is going on still. I'm kind of sick of that. Okay, now they're going to wrestle each other at the end of the night. And I'm like, I don't really care. But maybe they'll do something. Okay.
Yeah, because this has been building for many, many months.
Right. But I've just seen so many pull-aparts and wars that I'm like, all right, I've had enough of this. So I'm thinking negatively. And then we get to the end, and I'm like, maybe something will happen at the end. And when I saw them spray painting Ciampa at the end, when it all broke down at the end, it was like 5-on-1 or 4-on-1 or whatever it was. I was like, oh, okay, so this is what it is. They're just going to get all this heat and whatever. So I didn't see Velveteen Dream showing up.
I didn't predict that either. That was a hell of a surprise.
That was really cool. So
I marked out for that. And you know what I actually loved besides the wrestling was Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor's promo during the AEW commercial. I rewound it to listen to it, and it seemed so believable, like down to earth and unscripted per se. Like they were really cutting into each other. Gargano was even like, "Oh, I don't want the Finn Balor that lost to Bobby Lashley 17 weeks in a row. I want the real you." That was a brutal line.
Yeah.
He kept cutting into him about how much he sucked on the main roster, and Balor's like, "Oh, I don't work by the hour. If it's 20 minutes or 20 seconds, I'm going to take you out." And they were just very real and visceral. So
what did Balor say at the end? Because Johnny walked away like, you're going to find out, and then got up and left or something.
Gargano was like, "Oh, I have all this heart," and Balor says, "I have no heart."
Oh yeah, that's what it was. I have no
heart. And I was
like,
damn, that's it felt real.
It was pretty good. Yeah, that was one of the better.
And I like them having the split screen so that they're not in the same room. They don't have to have that invisible force field. Mm-hmm. I can't touch you kind of thing.
It's like that CNN Republican versus Democrat moment.
Yeah,
they put the two people against each
debate. Other. And, they recap their history nicely to really catch fans up. oh, we were going to have a fight at War Games. We couldn't do that. They covered the heel turn for Finn, but they did it in such a way to not make it feel like, oh, it's just bullet points.
So I liked it, but I don't think I liked it as much as you did. So I think Gargano is kind of a little bit of a dweeb.
Yeah,
so
he's always kind of had that nerdy.
When he's like, I'm going to do this now, I just kind of pictured taking his lunch money. And Balor, I don't know, it was just very, it was kind of like, it felt a little scripted, but they did it. But again, it felt like the good type of scripted. It felt like they did the best job executing that they could, telling the story. But it didn't. But back in the day, if you put Roddy Piper on a screen, and then you put another guy on a screen, and you were just like talk shit to each other, it would have been fucking awesome. And I feel like that it was good, and this is how bad and how far the main roster has to go in WWE, SmackDown, and Raw. This is how far behind they are, because even this promo that was pretty decently executed by Balor and Gargano, I'm still kind of criticizing, and because it still doesn't have that lively feeling that the old promos would have. And I don't care if someone wants to say, well, it's not the old times, or it's not 90s, it's not early 2000s, or I don't care what you think. It's not the early good. It's not. Guess what? That was better. Sorry. If it's not that, well, guess what? It sure isn't that, because only about 700,000 people will watch what you just talked about.
Yeah, so, sadly. I think what I like about this, too, because I've always been a big proponent of Balor's. I'm a big fan of his, and I'm excited most because Balor needs the win, but so does Gargano. So, I mean, either way, I could see either one of them winning and making a stance for going either which way. Honestly, I could see either one of them coming across with the victory, and I could also see it where this is a one and done, where they decimate each other here and the feud's over, and I could see it continuing to the Mania takeover. So it's got a lot of intrigue to it, to how they're going to pull off the ending.
Well, we're going to find out, but the Dream showing up was great, and I think...
And what about Charlotte? How did you feel about that segment?
Didn't see it.
Okay, so...
I want to hear about this, because I haven't seen it. I wanted to know what was going to happen.
Yeah, it was interesting, but it felt awkward. So, we have.
By the way, Brett, I just in the chat, I know that Bret Hart wasn't the best sometimes, but Bret Hart and Roddy Piper had great exchanges. And Bret Hart
wasn't always the best in the mic, but
he killed it as a heel.
What he had to say.
He killed it as a heel, though. Bret Hart killed it as a heel.
You believe what he had to say. He felt emphatically superior to other talent, and he made that come across the best as possible.
I think he meant it. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. His ego prevailed, and especially like going against Shawn, whose ego was as triumphant as they could come at that point in time. It worked. It was a thing of magic.
Bret Hart finally came out of his shell when he got to be heel. Listen to this for just 2 seconds, and then you'll know you're stupid.
Leaving it. Americans think that they're always better than us. They think they're better than everyone. But all you have to do is look at Donovan Bailey and you realize that they're not as great as they think they are. America. For me, Canada's a country where we still take care of the sick and the old, where we still have health care. We got gun control. We don't shoot each other and kill each other on every street corner. Yeah.
Americans suck. Yeah. Like, well, you know something? I think everybody in America needs to be shot in the head, and that'd be a damn improvement.
Isn't riddled with racial prejudice and hatred. Across Canada, we all care for each other. And I am proud to be Canadian. And I
like, this shit got heat, man, in America. People wanted to kill Bret Hart in America. It was awesome. That shit was fire, bro. There ain't nobody that's done a promo like that. and multiple ones, like the one he cut with Vince McMahon. Like, this is bullshit. This is bull fucking shit. That type of stuff. Like, you know it. I was screwed. You know it. They know it. Everybody in the back knows it. All those promos that Bret Hart cut off the cuff, basically, that shit was great. So even though Bret Hart wasn't good at being Vince McMahon's face promo guy.
No, but on a whim, it was so heartfelt.
Right. When Vince said, Bret, be like this, be like that, you're the champion, you're the hero here in WWE. Wow, the cam's on, baby. Then Bret would kind of just, I don't know, man. It's like he felt goofy or something. He'd be like, I plan on holding on to this belt for the entire time here in the WWF, and I'm going to be the best WWF champion that there's ever been. And I'm going to go out there and I'm going to prove to everybody why I am the World Wrestling Federation champion. And like he would say stuff like that, and then he'd go out, and that'd be it. But that's because Vince, guided that sort of promo, and that's what he did. Early on, he was horrible when he was in the Hart Foundation, and Neidhart would be like, we're gonna smack him, we're gonna eat him, we're gonna devour him, and then Bret would be like, yeah, we're gonna go out there and devour them up and beat them up, and like he was bad, but he got really good, and nobody.
Well, like Matt said too, he backed up everything he said in the ring.
Right.
That's what made it work.
Well,
too.
plus he also got to that level. And got to that world champion status when he flipped heel again. So, yeah, when he flipped heel, he had all that shit going. I mean, dude, this guy was, unfortunately for Bret, when he became a heel, he was out of the, he really only got to be this massive heel for about
year and a half.
Not even like 8 months, and then he was in WCW, and that ruined everything.
Feels longer, but
he should have been able. Well, he kind of began it. The heelish.
Yeah, the
sort
seeds
of,
were there.
The crybaby stuff started. Then the crybaby turned into the, but they still love him. And then that turned into the, now I'm sour. And then that turned into Stone Cold rising up. And then that turned into, well, fuck him. And then he finally went full heel. So there was about a 2-year melting pot of that. But it eventually culminated in that 6, 7, 8 months of Bret just being like, fuck America and fuck all of you. Like, that was great. That was some of the best shit you've ever seen. Just look up Bret Hart heel promo and go through all those and like have a fucking field day, because that shit's hilarious.
And he was able to make it work.
I don't know, man. He did keep repeating himself, Denise, but yeah, man, I don't know. He just did a pretty good job of getting heat, I thought. I mean, he's not he wasn't the best thing ever, but it was like, I feel like he gets way worse of a rap than, because like, but at the time, there was no one like him. So, I mean, now there's so many, like, not copycats, but we've seen that copy and paste version so many times that it's easy to go back and say, oh, he repeated himself. But then there was no one else that stood out like he did. He really reminds me of Rollins, man. But the only thing is Rollins won't come unglued. Like, they won't quite let Rollins... That Bret speech is the exact same political speech Bernie Sanders is using right now. Yeah. I know, it's kind of funny, isn't it, when you listen to Bret? We take care of our old. We don't shoot each other on every street corner. There's no racial prejudice. In Canada, we care about everybody. Like, that's funny. It's like it's kind of what's going on right now. But at the time, yeah, it was like something we really didn't talk about as much, and nobody was. It was the opposite in 1997 of now. It was more like pretend that's not happening at all, type of thing. And if you start talking about it, people get really annoyed, like, immediately. Nowadays, it's more like, let's keep talking about it, and people are like, oh my God, like, it won't stop. It was the opposite then. So when Bret Hart was saying that stuff, nobody in America really was saying that. We were all kind of, it was like we were trying to deal with that stuff, but like behind the scenes, like, hey, let's deal with that, but let's not really talk about it, And Bret Hart was like, I'm going to say all these things. And that pissed everybody off.
And you're right about Seth, because he's got this eclectic, man of the cloth, churchman, kind of thing going on, the Messiah. So he's trying to be more refined and revered in that sense. But it'd be nice to see him every now and again, let that fire rise and really snap. But they just don't let him, faint off script.
Everybody in the chat right now, give me your AEW versus NXT review. I want to know which one's better. Which one did you like better tonight? Let us know. And also the rating. Throw it all up in the chat. Just let it fly right now.
So Bianca Belair, she comes to the ring and she's, Moro's touting her amazing presence in the Royal Rumble. So Belair is saying how I'm going to Portland in a week. I'm going to be the NXT Women's Champion. And she calls out Rhea for going to Raw and getting, in Charlotte's business. Basically, she's like, you're jumping the gun and you forgot about me. No one cares about the Queen. You're forgetting about the EST. Then all of a sudden, Charlotte's music hits. And she comes to the ring, not all decked out in the robe and stuff, which I like too. That was an interesting touch, more street clothes. And, it was a good contrast there. It had more of like a less pomp and circumstance, like production value to it. So it felt a bit more, I don't want to say real, that's not the right word, but genuine. So Flair gets a huge welcome home chant, and the crowd is wooing like crazy. And Flair goes on the mic and says, I respect you, Belair, and I think you're just the best, a great athlete. You're amazing. But you're not Flair. And she goes on and talks about, all she's accomplished. And then, of course, Bianca points out that Rhea is looking past me. She's saying, I still have my match coming up in a week. So this challenge, you could be facing me. And that's when Rhea Ripley, she comes out and Bianca gets in the face of, both of the women and before they could even speak. And Charlotte sticks out her hand and shoves Belair out of the way. And that's when things started to get hot. And basically they start to bicker back and forth for a little bit. And Rhea Ripley said that she and Belair are going to tear each other up at TakeOver Portland. But there's a saying, we are NXT. And then the two of them looked at Charlotte and they blindsided her. And they double teamed her with the chair slam to go ahead and leave her lying in the ring. And the two of them stood tall while Rhea Ripley, held up the belt. So it was interesting. It wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be. It felt awkward at times. It wasn't bad. It was a little bit awkward. But they really tried to push the fact of like, you don't go here. You don't belong here. You're not one of us. You're not NXT. Rather than, I think they should have, they should have treated her more like she was, a graduate instead of an outsider. But they didn't view it that way. It wasn't like she skipped NXT entirely.
Yeah.
She was there. She was a champion. But they treated it like, you don't belong here. You don't go here. This is our ground, our time. And to me, that felt the way they portrayed it against each other. It didn't spark the or ignite the flame that I thought they were going for. So.
Well, let's jump over to what you guys are saying in the donations. What's up, chat? Get wet.
I'ma leave this briefcase right here. 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 Son, run, you fat bitch. Run, you fat bitch. Run, you fat bitch. Run, you fat bitch.
That's not nice. I'm fat now.
Run, you fucking fat bitch. Don't you think I'm a fucking terrorist? Run, you fat bitch. Run, you fat bitch.
Go ahead and run, you dumb cunt. Go ahead and run.
So hot in all your damn lips.
It's gonna blow, you goddamn hoe. Run, you fat bitch.
Tonight was better than last week. Mox and Jericho was solid, but obviously Cody and MJF was the steal of the show easily. But I feel like you are continuing to use tag teams way too much.
Yep.
Felt very heavy overuse tonight, but it was a solid out of 10.
Yeah, solid 6.5 out of 10, man. Soundwave is matching me exactly to give me some love. He just wants to sync up with me there. I thought it was a solid 6.5, I guess. I don't know about solid.
Super chat.
Something.
7/10. Wardlow gave that fan the beats.
Yeah,
pancakes,
baby.
Pancakes.
Wardlow dragged him behind the fucking scenes. I like it. Soundwave 92 going to
Super
be
chat. Super chat.
top guy.
JR's gimmick is not knowing the roster's names. Smiley face. Pancakes.
Mike Amilto. Thanks, Mike Amilto. Soundwave 92 with the 1984 is going to be
Super chat.
maybe taking home that title tonight.
NWA and Raw working relationship now.
NWA and Ring of Honor have a working relationship now. Well, Ring of Honor needs it badly. Who was that?
What else we got?
Casey is Raw.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Thanks for spoiling NXT for me, Jojo. Now I'm coming for you. Wigger.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike Amilto. Oh, my bad, man. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Maybe people were watching me. Like, I'll watch NXT later. Oh, man. I guess I didn't think about that. I guess I come in assuming everybody's watching both.
Usually we try and cover
My
both,
bad.
so.
Now, yeah, my bad. Right off the bat, though, we were, like, reacting to it. I guess
It's a big deal.
spoilers every week, I guess. Just remember, I'm going into spoilers every week.
Kane and I'm donating.
I pulled a Tommy.
I really wanted AU to be good, but I can't lie to myself. It was pretty crap. But damn, I still want to take the bunny to Pound Town.
Get that bunny going. Talk about making Allie a hooker. DC Derek, thank you for the 666, man. I'm the same way. I want to love AEW. I'm kind of depressed right now. I feel like it's pretty lackluster. Nice little thing, straps being slapped
They've
around.
been stuck in this like trend too recently, which I think is discouraging.
Yeah, just this.
It's like mediocre. They
Yeah.
have bits of greatness, but it's not
Super
enough
chat.
to
Super chat.
I would done 5 lashes on the back and 5 on chest.
5 on the chest would have been horrific, I would think.
Yeah, that would have spiced it up.
Yeah, 1 of the balls. 1 in the crotch. How about that?
Shit bomb.
1 in the balls.
Share it all over.
Drew Bar has become a $5 shit bum. What's up to all the shit bums in the chat? You want to be a shit bum? It's $5. Bring it on. The downtime between pay-per-views are killing these stories. Are going on way too long. We don't need a show every month, but this is draining. I agree, Drew Bar, and I think that a lot of the time, both WWE, NXT, but mostly WWE and AEW, are having stories that are sometimes too short and sometimes too long. Like, they're not syncing up the right way. But they need to shorten up a lot of these things.
Yeah, come on. You want to go to me right now? I'll fuck you up. I will finish it. I will fuck it. I will fuck its asshole. I'll fuck finish on it.
Jesus, right?
What's up, you pillowhead fucks? Finally tonight the white man finally gets whipped. How did it feel, cracker-ass Cody? The black man has been getting whipped and enslaved for the past 400 years. For the motherland with your whitey ass. Fuck y'all Peckerwoods.
Fuck y'all Peckerwoods. What the fuck? Hey, taking it back for the black. Thank you for the $4 and coming in hard, man. Hey, lash me up. Lash my mayonnaise ass up, please. Come on. Thanks, man, for the donation. Yeah, you got some payback tonight. But I'm sure you had one. Here comes Javier.
How is it that the ref wouldn't allow Britt to use the ring bell a second time, but she totally allowed Britt to American History X the Japanese genie? Also, who's a better heel in your opinion? Corbin or MJF?
MJF, because he's a much better talker. Corbin's doing okay, but I mean, honestly, thank you, Javier. I don't know. I mean, Corbin's done all right, but I just don't. I guess I don't know, man. I mean, I guess in a way, MJF is more likable, so it's weird. Like, Corbin just gets heat, so yeah. I mean, they both have value, but I really do hate Corbin for real.
Yeah, Corbin's got that go away. MJF, I can't say enough great things about him.
Sven Johnson on welfare just became a sub. That was, what the fuck was that?
There you go.
We have a new
And Broken Lion, yeah, baby.
Broken Lions getting down with the devil.
I mean, MJF, I've been watching MLW recently again, and everything he's doing there is fantastic, too. So,
yeah.
The Dynasty and against the Von Erichs, it's been fun. That's the thing. Watching MJF, it's a fun heel. Like, you're enjoying your time. Even when he frustrates you and you want to boo him, you still are enjoying the segment. When Corbin is getting heat, you want to change the channel.
Right. When, fucking goddamn, man.
Party.
Lackluster tonight for me.
AU6 10th's opening match was good but no sell with the 10 lashes.
No sell with the 10 lashes. I mean, I thought there was a lot of sell. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. What do you think about it?
I'm waiting for it to pop up.
You thought it was a no sell?
I thought it was an oversell with the lashes, not a no sell.
I mean, I thought it was. I
thought it was a bit too much of a sell.
Jake thought it was an oversell. It sounded like he said it was, but no sell.
Yeah, no, certainly. I mean, he was writhing in pain and falling all over the ground. And
What else we got?
Tears streaming
a little
down
bit
his
of the
face.
bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Joe, I know I haven't donated lately, but I've been pissed off because Jake got this new guy and he's filling him up more than me. It's like he forgot about me. Remember me, Jake, remember me. I love to take it up the ass and be tied up too.
That is Joe's male sex slave, and he's really, really jealous, Jake. And that's why he's not donating anymore, man. Can you please, suck him dry or something the next time so we can actually get some donations?
Well, he was supposed to be sucking us both dry, but he just couldn't keep up.
I mean, if we don't start blowing these people, we're going to lose. We're
not supposed to blow them. They're the sex slaves. They're supposed to be pleasing us.
I can't do these reviews anymore.
They're supposed to be pleasing us.
I did a morning show on Corrupted Nation this morning. I made $0, Jake. $0. I mean, 35 minutes. All these entertaining bits. $0 this morning, Jake.
That's not good.
And I'm kind of blaming you for it, for not blowing this fucking guy.
I should be pleasing the slaves, but
I mean, dude, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? What, are we gonna stop doing the AEW reviews? Stop doing the morning shows? And Joe's male sex slave is just one of many that have been saying that you're not blowing the audience in the balls and you're not rubbing people down like you used to. For me.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry, but I let my ego run wild. Once you start coming, you don't want to stop. I used to be a giver, but now I'm all about receiving.
Well, that's not gonna work for me, Jake. All right. But what the fuck? But yeah. So I'd give NXT tonight probably a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, that sounds good. Because still some stuff in the middle with NXT. The women's Mania build was I don't want to say.
Oh yeah, tell me about the Charlotte. I missed this. I don't know what happened with Charlotte. Yeah, I missed it.
As I was saying before, Belair's in the ring and she's saying, "Don't overlook me." She was upset that Charlotte's challenging Rhea Ripley when Bianca has a match in another week at Portland. That's something I brought up. So that was a logical, step there. Charlotte then comes out. She's got street clothes on. She so less pomp and circumstance. That was a good look for it. And she says that, you're great, you're amazing, but you're no Flair. And that's when Rhea Ripley comes out. And Charlotte sticks her hand in Belair's face when she goes to talk. So she pushes her away. And that sets off Bianca. You get an EST chant from the Full Sail crowd. And Bianca finally gets to say her piece saying, you jumped over me, but, you might be facing me at Mania if that's the case. That was her point. So I like the fact that they brought that up, but it was awkward. It didn't flow well. And the spectacle of Charlotte being back in NXT was good, and it ended where Rhea said, we are NXT, and they both attacked Charlotte and left her lying in the ring, kind of, the two NXT girls standing tall. I know what they're going for, but they treated Charlotte too much like an outsider rather than a graduate of NXT. So it was a bit odd in that regard. They should be treating her like, a forefather, someone that paved the road for them. They don't have to respect her, but treating her like an invader didn't really line up with that. At least that's how I interpreted it and felt. So it wasn't a perfect promo. It needed some work, and it felt awkward. But at least they did a couple of things right. They addressed the fact that, hey, don't challenge Rhea Ripley yet because we have a match coming up in a week. In a week. So
somebody said that some guy stole my "What's Up Wrestling Fans" line. Let me go check it out. They sent me the clip.
Adam Blampier is back too.
Somebody is really mad at this guy. Someone is saying this guy completely ripped off Joe's "What's Up Wrestling Fans." What are you talking about? Let's check it out. Who is this guy? This is on AEW's YouTube channel.
What's up, AEW wrestling fans? I am Alex Abrahantes, and we are here in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah, he says, "What's up, AEW wrestling fans?" Oh, he says it all funny too. What's this guy's name?
AEW wrestling fans, I am Alex Abrahantes, and we...
Alex Apprehensive? Alex Apprehensive?
I just said that too. I said, look at that, Adam Blampie's back, and then Wrestle Talk popped up a super chat. So thank you, Wrestle Talk.
That is so bizarre.
I literally just said, and look at that, Adam Blampier.
Oh, that's right. You know what? I saw that earlier and on Twitter, and you know something about that?
I couldn't be happier. I wish he never disappeared and got fired to begin with. So.
When I met Adam in Florida, I'm telling you, man, he was fun as shit. And so, like, seeing him back, I was like, why did he should really just be back a long time ago. So I saw the picture of him and saw that he's back. Party. And he's a good guy.
I loved his Rumble prediction, that he did with Wrestle Talk. That was a great way to sow the seeds there.
And then Jake talks over the donation. No, I'm just kidding. No, Wrestle. I don't even know if that's really Wrestle Talk, but thank you either way. Oh, it is. Okay, well, what's up, guys? Welcome back, Adam Blampier, man. Welcome back.
Yeah,
I'll be watching. Now we get. But honestly, dude, can we? There's too many guys with English accents though on Wrestle Talk. Can we get an American somewhere? I mean, there's too much of this type of excitement over there. Like, we got to get somebody, with a Boston accent like me. No, I'm just kidding. But no, Adam Blampier, welcome back, man. It's going to be good, man. He's got the voice of a goddamn angel. So it'll be a lot of fun over at Wrestle Talk when they got Adam Blampier. I wonder what he's going to do. I wonder if he's going to do more of those, if he's just going to do reactions. Is he going to do countdown videos? Is he going to do stuff like he used to do?
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
I wonder.
Bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Let's get together for a group hug.
Oh,
look up Tommy flying over top rope, catch him.
Oh.
And that was the day the turkey finally ate us.
Hey, Too Sweet, thanks, man. Yeah, you don't want the turkey to eat you, man. You never want the turkey to be eating you. Please don't eat Too Sweet. He's one of our top donators. We don't want him to be eaten. Okay, so Jake, so you think tonight, based on what you saw NXT, you enjoyed NXT better, obviously?
Yeah, NXT would definitely be a 7.5. There was some really great matches too right off the bat. The Tyler Breeze match was badass. That was a great match. It was unexpected too for them to put on that kind of show because there really wasn't anything advertised tonight. It was just all focused on Charlotte, who I thought was going to be the main event, and thankfully they didn't do that. They let Velveteen Dream be the main event, and excuse me, obviously Garza to open it up with Swerve Scott was really good as well. So AEW, what else was I going to mention before? Some fans are really hung up on the fact they feel like it made Riho look really weak with that way she got attacked with Pac being there. Right. I don't think it makes her look weak, but it was pretty lackluster.
Like run.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like somebody tell Rio to run out of there, get away from Pac. She's just standing there. But
that's what I'm saying. So she doesn't look weak. It just makes her look kind of moronic.
But
he didn't have her by the throat. He wasn't holding her. Like she's just standing there looking. She's cowering down to him.
Pac is doing some straight up like Shredder Ninja Turtles villain shit. Like, I've got her like tied up in the train tracks. Like, it was just really funny. Wrestle Talk says Adam will be doing fantasy booking as well as top 10 lists and some new video ideas. Okay, cool. That makes sense, man. Well, anytime you want to promote he's back or whatever, send him my way. We'll do a little podcast or something like that. Tell Adam. I'll message him, but I haven't talked to Adam in almost.
One commenting isn't the real one. The one donating was. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't seen Adam in about a year or two. I haven't talked to Adam in maybe years. 2 years. But yeah, so I mean, anytime if they're listening, send him over here. We'll talk to him.
Yeah. And originally, when Blampier got exiled, pretty much, there was a lot of misinformation because I was against what he was going on to begin with, and then you heard how everything actually worked out, and in lieu of everything that came to be realized, he didn't even do anything that was.
Yeah, I never thought
worth all the hubbub.
I never thought he had to leave anywhere. I thought that was just a bunch of dumb shit. But I said
Matt
that
made a great point before. Look at all the times Hogan's gotten second chances.
Yeah, I think he was too hard on himself. But whatever, that's fine. He wanted to do it.
Hey, Liz in the chat. She's been filling us in all night. She was there live. And
what's up, Liz?
I thought I saw her sign at one point, but she let us know what happened in AEW Dark. And it was indeed a fan that it's being reported that attacked MJF at the end of the show. So.
Yeah,
I see that up on several wrestling websites now.
He had like a cap on. He was in shape, and he looked like he sort of came at MJ, and then he stopped, and then he started again and came at him. Very bizarre, almost like he's probably intoxicated. I mean, like you get a bunch of drunken guy wrestling fans, and then they want to be part of the deal. I mean, it was funny watching Wardlow. I mean, honestly, dude, I gotta watch it again, but I think. Was MJF was kind of like work punching him?
He didn't really hit him. He just kind of like pushed him in the back, and then there was a security guard.
Yeah.
And Wardlow fucking him up. So.
Yeah, the guy like dropped. Like the guy was. I know this sounds crazy, but the fucking guy was either so drunk he was falling, or he was legit like selling. Like I mean, like go watch it. It's weird. MJF like hammers him a couple times in the back, and the guy collapses on it and falls over. Then he rolls on the ground in the back, and then Wardlow, I guess, maybe kicks him in the ear or head a couple times. I don't know. Yeah. It was kind of funny though. It fell at his feet because he was drunk. Yeah, he was hammered. That's what it was. The guy was selling because he was so hammered. Oh man, that was too funny. Remember when what the hell was it? The guy. It makes me think of the Randy Orton thing where he got punched in the balls, and he's like,
"Oh yeah,
yeah. You think I was selling for the guy? Okay, he hit me in the balls."
It's always like the one that I laugh at for shoot stuff is when Raven got pulled out of the ring by his hair.
Oh yeah, that
and
was.
He's like,
insane.
It wasn't even that much force, but I thought at that time with me being heel that I was selling, And he was like, I was so pissed because I sold for, I sold for this guy, and come to find out.
I sold for some piece of shit fan who jumped over the barricade to assault me. Well, I mean, that was the best thing to do because going out of the ring like Raven did, I mean, if he had sat there, his scalp would have gotten ripped. So what he did was,
But he was pissed that he actually, went and put a little emphasis in it. So.
Well, he immediately got pulled out, looked at the guy got tackled, and then he sort of just jumped right back up into the ring, sat right back down, and began his promo again. But yeah, maybe he would. So it's normally you beat the shit out of someone and then you wish you didn't. Normally it's the other way. Normally it's like, in reality, I wish I didn't beat up that fan because it cost me money or I got suspended or I got in trouble. I should have just let the security take him and gotten out of there. But no, Raven wants to go back in time to kick the shit out of the guy. Because he could have. He just stared at him and then the security took him and he hopped back up. But yeah, now he actually regrets not beating the shit out of the guy. But that's because now Raven lives in a fucking trailer or something. So now he's like, oh, I should have gone back and kicked that guy's ass. But if Raven had become a movie star like The Rock, and he had attacked him back in the day, he'd be like, oh, I wish I hadn't have done that. But Raven's, I don't know. I met Raven once, and he was a cunt. So I'm just,
yeah, I remember that.
I just shit on Raven. I just shit on Johnny Polo now all the time. I'm sorry.
Two of the main takeaways from tonight, though, that people are discussing on Twitter, it seems to be, is that Brandy broke character, and three things: the MJF being attacked by a fan, and Riho looking silly and weak. So
yeah, Rio looks like a moron.
That's not good when that's some of your main takeaways. People aren't even focusing on the key attack and the lashings.
It's like, so this girl that everyone's annoyed by, she can, so let me get this straight. Rio wins the title against a man lady, Nyla Rose. She beats this beast of a woman, Nyla Rose, and then she doesn't defend her belt almost ever. And then they introduce a guy who's supposed to be a Japanese death fighting machine, Luther, and Riho takes out Luther. And then continues to have no really impact on the women's division at all. And now she shows up tonight. Finally, there's the belt. There's the champion. And she's in a damsel in distress situation with Pac. What the hell are they doing at AEW right now? And I honestly, this isn't I have blown this company as much as I could, but this is bad. This is bad.
Unfortunately, nothing I don't think they can control, but the 8-man tag was difficult to see at times because of all the fog, because it didn't look like they had great exhaust for the pyro.
Right, because there's normally
so I don't know if it came across with you, but it may have just been the brightness on my TV, but it was hard to see some of the action in the ring at that point.
It was kind of difficult to see.
I just noticed that Liz was there. Maybe she can tell us if it was really foggy in person, but
holy shit. Ted DiBiase's son, Brett, arrested in a huge embezzlement operation.
Wow.
Looks like everybody but the judge has a price. Someone wrote in the comments.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's crazy.
Ringside News. Oh, my God. Look at this. Ted DiBiase's son, Brett DiBiase, didn't make it very far in WWE. He went out and sought his own fortune. Now he's in trouble. Special agents from the state auditor have arrested several people, including Brett DiBiase, connection with a multi-million-dollar embezzlement scheme. Wide range of violations from fraud to embezzlement. The conclusions were reached after an 8-month investigation where auditors found that there was a conspiracy to illegally obtain millions in public funds from temporary assistance for needy families program.
Damn.
Holy
that sucks.
shit. And Ted's a preacher.
Yeah. That's not good news at all.
But, we had Ted DiBiase on the show, and he talked about being a man of God and everything and how he cheated on his wife back in the day. And now he talks about, how he kind of he forgave the Warrior, but then he also took a shot at the Warrior as he forgave him on my show after.
Yeah, that was.
If anybody remembers my Ted DiBiase interview, I love Ted DiBiase as a performer and a wrestler and whatever, but just wow, talk about some weird stuff.
That's surprising.
But not.
It's funny how the men of God always seem to be, embezzling and swindling.
I know.
Every time.
Sean Harrington says you guys are way too harsh sometimes. It really wasn't that bad. Well, I gave this 6.5. That's not that bad.
Oh, you're nitpicking. Well, that's what we're here to do. We praise the positive and we don't focus on the negative, but we bring light to, it's our opinion. That's the point of the review.
Sean Harrington, bro, you're bringing up WWE examples, but I give WWE a worse score than AEW, so that doesn't make sense.
Regularly.
You're like, oh, you guys bury this too much, and WWE does this and that. Okay, well, I don't care what you say about WWE because I give WWE a 3 and a 4 and a 2. I'm giving this a 6.5. That's it's kind of a thumbs up. It's a thumbs up. It's not a thumbs up, but it's a thumbs up.
Yeah, it could be a lot worse.
Bad. Could be a lot worse, bro. 6.5. You're gonna be okay, bro. It's gonna be okay.
Chris Jericho and others were talking to, where was it on here? Fightful Select, and apparently they're appreciative of Tony Khan and the way he's running, and helping with creative. Tony was instrumental in the Hangman Page storyline. He said that Tony specifically was one that worked closely on and contributed to that heavily. His creative input has been received positively by people on the roster, and he's evolved from being the person with the final say to the person developing more stories and ideas of his own, and he's been outspoken about other people's ideas. They said that Chris Jericho is very outspoken about his thoughts backstage, both positive and negative, about creative. That includes things that involve him and don't involve him. So that's cool. And it was Kenny Omega's idea to turn Britt heel. And it was the lines about Shivani's job came from Tony Khan.
You should have listened to her promos first before turning her heel.
Well, funny part is that the line about Shivani's job and the promos, it says, Kenny Omega is credited with the idea of turning Britt Baker heel internally, and the promo about Tony Schiavone's job was said to have come from Tony Khan. So maybe have Tony not write the promos, just give the ideas.
Yeah. Tony's done an all right job with some ideas.
He's got good ideas overall, so that's good to hear. I mean, everything they've done with Hangman, I've really enjoyed so far since they've done this team up and heel turn slowly.
You know,
Liz said it was difficult to see there. She said that the fog was pretty intense. So
I'm starting to. I've said this more and more. Years ago, you know, fans of the show and people who like me, and I basically I feel embarrassed. People would say, like, can you please go to WWE and write this stuff or become a writer or apply to WWE? And I used to laugh because I'd say, I'm not good at that. I'm not. And I don't think I am. It's like, I don't think I'm good. You need someone better, like really good in charge of this stuff. And the more I watch the current product over the last 2 years, the more all I ever wanted to do was be a commentator. That's all I want to do. Besides be a wrestler back in the day, but I want to be a commentator. But the more I watch this, and, you know, maybe a heel manager or something like that, but the more I watch this, the more I want to desperately work for these, like, I find myself...
I would love to work for creative, yeah.
Yeah, like, I find myself wanting to be, like, kind of in charge of shit. Like, I don't know why. Like, I've never felt that way. I've always felt, no way, I suck at this. I don't know shit. These guys know stuff I don't know. I could give you some ideas about what I'm hearing, but I don't think I could do anything like this. But the more I watch this stuff and how bad it is, I mean, so many of us could. Anybody in the chat. Like, there's people in the chat. There's just anybody. I mean, I've been a referee. I've been a wrestler. I've been a commentator. I mean, we're talking about, you know, I've done this for 20 years. And so now I look at things and I go, you know what, I could do this. Because this is what they're doing is terrible. And when you look at the show rundown and you go, listen, like going back weeks ago complaining, like, you got fucking 4 different goth factions showing up. Are we really going to do this all in one night? Is this a good idea? Should we really have Luther show up and get taken out by little Rio? Like, what are we doing? Like, what are the women?
And then seemingly disband the group on a non-televised show. I guess Brandy posted something like she looked concerned while the group was fighting last night on her Twitter.
Ugh.
And that doesn't help, though.
I mean, the announcing, like the chemistry between people, they should have that stuff worked out way before. They should have had the chemistry of the announcers worked out way before. They should have been having matches, or they should have been having the announcers sitting in the back like a fucking casting call. Like a goddamn casting call. Put JR there, put Excalibur there, have them fucking call matches that don't have commentary on them, and see how they go, and then be like, here's what you guys are doing that we want, here's what you're doing we don't want, and here's what's not working. And then put different people. Put Taz with fucking JR. Put Excalibur with Taz. Put Tony Schiavone and JR with a heel guy. And mix it all together and be like, what worked? Okay, we got our A group, and then we got our B group. Our B group's handling Dynamite and handling substitutions, whatever. And we know our chemistries, and you're circling it like a fucking hockey team. Like a goddamn hockey team, line 1, line 2. But instead, it was just put them out there because we like everybody. Oh, Kenny Omega's going to book the women because Kenny Omega smells Asian pussy. So Kenny Omega is Megan. That'd be funny. Kenny Omega is going to be in charge of the women because we said so. I mean, Ring of Honor. Oh, like just allow these guys to build their own brand on our own heads, and then let them go do whatever they want. Good idea, guys. And it's like,
Yeah,
hey,
because Moxley
WWE.
here is praising this. He's saying, the lack of 30 writers buzzing around with all this weird fucking energy is the biggest difference. Instead of a 10-minute sports entertainment segment, at AEW, I don't have anyone bugging me with a 40-page script to memorize or drilled to me how it's supposed to be done. Very stress-free when you just let the guys do their jobs. Difference for us is we don't have 37 pay-per-views and 600 network specials. We have Dynamite every week, but only 4 or 5 pay-per-views a year. We can keep those high-quality big matches for those.
And yet they're still messing stuff up. But,
and that's
for John, though, for John
things
Moxley.
are going great.
Yeah, for him, he has been one of the better treated people. Like, I don't blame him at all. He's got to have an amazing outlook on this. Because, see, the thing about it is no matter what, whether a good storyline happens in AEW, like they've had great stories, then they've had some really bad stories. Then they've had some just bad mixes and bad chemistry balances and things like that. So whether it's good or bad, no matter what, at the end of the night, it feels like you're not stressed like WWE. So that's the good news. No matter what, you're not memorizing a script and you don't feel flabbergasted by whatever is going on corporately. So that's the bonus. No matter good or bad, you come off way less stressed than in WWE. So it's like you live to fight another day. In AEW, if you mess something up or if you realize that didn't really work at all, that was bad, you kind of go, all right, well, let's come back and get it next time. Let's come back and get it next time. Where in WWE, it feels like, am I really doing this tonight? And then you go out there and maybe you do it well, maybe you don't do it well, maybe it's received bad. You don't really get the chance of, well, next time I come out, I'm going to kill it, or we're going to do something better next time. No, you're not in control. And you're going to do that same thing maybe even again, or the continuation of it, and you're going to do it again. And you have no choice, and you're going to memorize the words to something that you can't even believe in. So the amount of stress and cage-like feeling and claustrophobia that must happen at WWE is insane, because at least in AEW, if you're part of something that's not working, you have that chance maybe next week, maybe the week after, eventually pretty quickly, to vindicate yourself or to make up for what happened. Where in WWE, I mean, it must feel like you're in handcuffs being led around, not in control of the failures. Chance. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I can't think of a good analogy, but you get what I mean. I think everybody else does. I mean, I'm not there, but I mean, based off all of the language, all of the interviews, all of the descriptions of WWE, I can feel it. I can almost feel it. I can feel like any one of us out there, any wrestlers listening, independent wrestlers, who have dreamed of being in this company, it's like 70% chance of being not what you hoped or being a nightmare. Like after a little while. At first, you're amazed, you're getting paid maybe better than you've ever been paid anywhere. But then, travel costs and all these things. And then you're not getting booked at all. And then the weird shit's going on politically. And, you're wrestling, you're flying 3 different days in a row, all these different places. And, all of a sudden, after the honeymoon period wears off of 6 months to a year, you start being grumpy. You start being annoyed. You start being jealous.
And that's kind of the thing now. The honeymoon period is worn off with AEW, essentially. So people are finding flaws, and things might be unfairly criticized at certain points in time too. But you can't have, them receiving passes either. There was a big mess up tonight, like we said, with the camera work, where they missed the conclusion to the tag match. We just gave WWE hell. And obviously this wasn't as big a moment as Edge's first spear in 9 years, but it was still an important match and a big win for the heels who are almost close to having no victories. So those things, need to be addressed.
That's about all I got, man. AEW, NXT. Billy the Fridge.
Here's a monster turkey donation. Did I do it right? Aubergine, aubergine, aubergine.
What up, DC Derek? Thank you, man, for chiming in, DC Derek. Keep it hard, baby.
I wonder when we're going to get Scarlett Bordeaux's derriere coming out. You can see her ass cheeks on full display on NXT. Originally, people said that they were going to tone down her sexuality, but then they said rumors recently that it might be ramped up on NXT to kind of show a difference between some of the other females.
Really?
So that's interesting. With WWE really kind of shied away from that Sable-like gimmick for so long. So to bring that back like she was doing on Impact, you know, the strip dances and stuff, I wonder how that's going to go over.
I'm really annoyed by this guy who took my catchphrase.
Yeah, I don't blame you
Let
there.
me get this guy's name again. Hold on.
What's up, AEW wrestling fans? I am Alex Apprehentis.
Apprehentis? What the fuck is that?
Everyone check out Joe's new website for your latest news on the sexual gay tension and drama among the hosts of the show. Go to my ass. Sprinkle that cum all over me.
Oh, poop in my boot. Thank you for the $4.99 poop in my boot. Much appreciated. It's a great website. Sprinkle that cum all over me. Much appreciated. Go ahead and sprinkle the cum all over me. Is he from Reality Wrestling, or who is this guy? I don't know. I can't. Anybody knows who this guy is? This fucking guy ripped off my shit. I'm gonna beat the shit out of him. Thank you, poop in my boot, though. I appreciate that. I want to beat this guy's ass. I don't know why. Like, I ripped off Boogie, but I made it my wrestling opening.
That's how it goes. Time and time again.
I don't get it. I want to know who this guy is. Apprehendes? Fucking like he was apprehended? Apprehendes? I can't fucking figure out the guy's name at all. I don't know, man. I can't find his, I don't know what he does. I don't know why this is a thing. It's bothering me, though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I imagine
What's up,
it's pissing you
AEW
off.
wrestling fans?
What's going on, unknown motherfucker?
Alex Apprehentis. And
Chat's been on fire all night. Thank you guys for being awesome, like always.
all right,
You see that?
It's a weird segment.
your thoughts on that.
I don't know who this guy is. It's driving me nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the chat knows.
It's really pissing me off. He's a nobody is what it is. He's a nobody. He stole my fucking goddamn line. I'm going to fuck you up, Alex Apprehended. Then apprehend you and throw you over the board. Throw you over the border, TNA sus papeles. You fucking goddamn illegal.
Oh, you're calling ice again.
Goddamn, I'm calling ice on Alex Apprehended. It's going to be Alex Apprehended. He's going to be fucking goddamn apprehended. I stole that line from Boogie 2988 rightfully and brought it to the wrestling community. God damn it. You piece of shit. I'm going to give you the biggest What's Up Wrestling fan going forward now on all my shows. So I've been doing it for 7 years. Alex Apprehended. I'm calling ice on Alex Apprehended. That's it. Fuck this guy. All right, good night, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you tomorrow for Out of Nowhere. Lots of wrestling to talk about, news, and
a lot of build up for obviously coming, what's to come with AEW. We got a lot to look forward to there. Also, we got some big matches to discuss for AEW going forward. TakeOver Portland, the card's pretty much all said and done for that show. What's going on with Saudi? There's a lot of interesting developments with matches, and WWE still has no announcement or details about the date of selling tickets or the prices for the tickets for the Super Showdown, and it's only 20 days till the show happens, so that's interesting as well. We're going to talk about the card there and also some more build up to the Rumble, so make sure you tune in tomorrow.
All right, baby, I'm ready. I'm ready for the big one.
We have a big show.
Bring it on. See you guys on Twitter. I'm going to have more on Patreon. I got so much stuff on Patreon. I uploaded a new show today on Patreon, plus me and Tommy's Honestly podcast, me and Leah's podcast. Check out my Patreon right now. Soundwave92. Thanks for taking home that digital championship tonight. It's a replacement one tonight as I get the files uploaded, man. Boom. I will see you guys.
Blow me!
I'll see you guys on Patreon.